Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello everyone and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. In our top stories, President Muhammadu Buhari says his administration will quash Boko Haram and bring its sponsors to justice. National Emergency Management Agency NEMA says the death toll from the bombings in Kuje and Yanya has risen to 18. And tension rises between state government and teachers in Ekiti State over bailout funds. Outside Nigeria, UN High Commissioner for Human Rights says airstrike by NATO forces on Medicine Sans frontier in the Afghan city of Kunduz may be a war crime offense. We'll begin tonight in Abuja, where President Muhammadu Buhari has condemned the latest terror attacks in Abuja, Maiduguri and Yola. In a statement he personally signed, Buhari observed that the Friday attacks in the three cities were apparently timed to coincide with Independence Day celebrations, when Nigerians should be rejoicing. The president commiserated with the families of the dead and prayed for the speedy recovery of the injured. He added that he has instructed security forces and other local authorities to maintain extra vigilance to forestall future attacks. The president said his government is determined to stamp out the Boko Haram sect and bring all sponsors to justice. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has again reiterated the commitment of his administration to put an end to extremism and eradicating violence in the country. According to the statement by his aide on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the president spoke at the presidential villa Abuja after receiving briefing from a team of government officials he sent to carry out on the spot assessment of the bomb blasts recorded in Kuje and Yanya blasts of the Federal Capital Territory on Friday evening. A federal government delegation had earlier visited the two bomb scenes to see things for themselves. The team, which included the Chief of Staff, Abe Yari, Police Commissioner Wilson Inaligo, told newsmen in Kuje that an official statement would be released soon by the authorities. Meanwhile, preliminary investigations by the police have shown that the twin bomb blasts in Abuja were carried out by two suicide bombers, a male and a female. Inspector General of Police Solomon Arase reviewed these in a statement issued in the aftermath of the twin bomb blast in Kuje and Yanya. He also assured Abuja residents and the entire citizenry of adequate security of lives and property. The police high command has ordered police bomb units to the scenes to comb the surrounding areas. He added that in spite of the atrocity, Nigeria will not accommodate terrorist acts. Senate President Bukola Saraki has urged security operatives to step up intelligence gathering activities in the aftermath of the bomb explosions in the satellite towns of Kuje and Yanya. He also wants Nigerians not to panic because, according to him, the renewed attacks are signs that the day of Boko Haram are numbered. In a statement issued on his behalf by his media office, the Senate President commended the security agencies for the quick response to the two incidents. especially the prompt evacuation of the dead and injured to medical facilities. He, however, urged the operatives to leave no stone unturned in ensuring that the peace that has returned to the FCT and its environs is not only sustained but improved upon. And now the All Progressives Congress APC has strongly condemned Friday night's twin bomb attacks on Kuje and Yaya areas of Abuja, and it says that it's important for people to be more observant. In a statement in Lagos on Saturday by its National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, the party said the attacks, as well as other recent ones, are a part of the cowardly tactics of the terrorists to focus on soft targets after the military has succeeded in putting them on the run. APC appealed to Nigerians to be vigilant, explaining that Boko Haram members who had been smoked out of their strongholds might be seeking refuge elsewhere across the country. No fewer than 18 people were believed to have been killed in the multiple bomb blasts in Kuje and Yaya on Friday. Emergency workers and security operatives disclosed these at a bomb scene. 14 people, including one suicide bomber, died in Kuje, while 3 people died alongside 2 suicide bombers in the 2 explosions in Yaya. Government officials, however, fear that the death toll could rise.
Well, in relationship with the bomb blast of yesterday, we have received the casualties and mortalities who are in the federal tertiary hospitals and some of the FCT hospitals. As of this moment, those casualties are under proper care. They are receiving adequate and proper care in the National Hospital, Gogolada and Asokoro hospitals. I'm also aware that there are some of the patients who have been taken to private hospitals, but we'll go around and see that they get the care that they need for now. We've also received some deaths. We are still assessing the level of mortality together with the security agencies and NEMA, who is FEMA, sorry. So we are doing our best as is now. Out of the casualties, some had undergone operation last night. Throughout last night, we have been operating on some of them. They are stable. We have not had hospital death yet from the casualties because our doctors have been working throughout the night. We will give you proper briefing as the events unveil itself, but government is committed to support the victims of the blast, especially the survivors of the blast.
The local authorities in Kuje are concerned that one of the multiple blasts on Friday night in Abuja happened in their domain. Council Chairman Shaban Tete told CoreTV News that the only vital information from members of the public could prevent a breach of peace in any part of the country. He also urged residents of the council area to provide information that could lead to the arrest of the bombers. Meanwhile, eyewitnesses said the bomb blast in Kuje was caused by 2 men on motorcycles. They told CoreTV News that no fewer than 12 people died on the spot. The witnesses also claimed that emergency workers arrived late on the scene.
Okay, are you selling a chat card? The guy said yes. So they now brought out on 1,000 naira note. So the guy said, because of me, he has already given me his own change. So the guy said there's no change, that they should go down, that they will see another man selling the card there. So unfortunately, when I left there, it's not even up to 3 minutes. We just heard the sound. So everybody started has been running. So later I went back there. But to my greatest surprise, I saw all of them, they are dead already. Both the man selling provision, the mesuya, the man selling watermelon. So we now asked, what about those people that parked the machine? Nowhere to park, but their machine was there.
There was these 2 young boys that came wearing white kaftan with a bike. So they came buying recharge card. But unfortunately, the guy told them that he don't have the change. So they now dropped the bike and dropped something on nylon. And now told the guy that was selling that little provision close to that guy that was selling suya and fruit that they should go and buy the card. So that was, it is not up to 5 minutes. It now got exploded. That particular thing they dropped and the bike now got exploded as well. And even immediately they left, even after the scene, those people did not come back.
We'll take a break now, and I'll be back with more stories. Don't go away.
As news breaks, people don't let events pass without giving their comment or reactions.
When the problem arises in society, these are the people that should be consulted.
To cleanse the corruption in society, we are not to provide information for good life and also security of life and property in this country.
The academic society have the loudest voice on this platform.
Whether you call it a sovereign national conference or a national conference, it's just about the people of Nigeria.
There should be a change in power.
In any way they can do it.
I think there's a script already.
Every Tuesday at 8:45 p.m. on this station. From the Ivory Tower, a must-watch for the learning minds.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, treasure looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth. Whatever it is that will bring our military to the secret. I said to hell
on Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge. Welcome back. If you just joined us, it's CoreTV Primetime News, a recap of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari says his administration will crush Boko Haram and bring its sponsors to justice. National Emergency Management Agency NEMA says the death toll from the bombings in Kuje and Yenya has risen to 18. And tension rises between the state government and teachers in Ekiti State over bailout funds. Moving on now, of course, you can get more on our top stories on any of our social media platforms. Follow us, like our Facebook page, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Follow us on Twitter at CoreTV News NG, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's right there on your screen. The police command in Sokoto State has confirmed the abduction of a 75-year-old woman, Hajia Fatima Mohammed, by unidentified gunmen. The police public relations officer in command, Sabo Kurawa, disclosed that incident occurred at about 8 p.m. on Wednesday in Kebe, headquarters of Kebe local government area of the state. The victim is also the mother of Yeshua Kebe, the state's governorship candidate of the defunct All Nigeria People's Party in the 2011 elections. Kurao explained that the whereabouts of the kidnapped woman is still unknown, as the kidnappers are yet to either contact the police or the family of the victim. Her son Kebe also confirmed the abduction of his mother. In an apparent move now to douse the tension brewing between Ekiti State government and teachers that form core of the local government workforce, head teachers and the state governor are meeting for the second time within 1 month. The Nigeria Union of Local Government Employees NOGE had earlier issued an ultimatum to embark on an indefinite strike over exclusion in the bailout fund arrangement. Rashid now reports.
The 5th of October is World Teachers' Day, which is to be celebrated in Ekiti State. But the issuance of ultimatum by the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees directing its members to embark on indefinite strike on that day must have prompted the governor to call head teachers to explain why the bailout fund available is not covering them.
They had a clearer picture the same way. You see, when you don't have a clearer picture, when you don't have information, they thought the money came, and they realized the one for the states came, theirs didn't come. So it's an issue that has to be resolved soon, and that will be resolved soon.
While the governor explains, the teachers' leadership has this to say if they are satisfied with the governor's explanation.
The aspect he said they will look into, he will look into. The aspect that has been resolved, clearly we all saw it has been resolved.
Look around at your teacher, you say
Okay. They are happy. Why? They are happy. They are happy. If they are not happy, by now they should have gone. You see hanging around, waiting to collect their materials, waiting to collect their stipends, waiting to collect their refreshment, is to tell you that they are happy.
The success or otherwise of this meeting will be seen with the turnout of teachers as the government decides to celebrate them in just few days away. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
You don't say what you are saying.
A long-awaited report on the staff verification and biometric exercise for staff of the 17 local government education authorities and local government pension in the Plateau State has been completed and submitted to Governor Simon Lalong in a ceremony at Plateau State Government House. Our correspondent has details in this report. The alleged discrepancies in the Plateau State Civil Service, where a fake commissioner was discovered after receiving millions of salary and allowances, led the past administration of Governor Juna Jang to set up a biometric verification committee to ascertain the actual number of bona fide civil servants in the state. The chairman of the committee, Susan Janfa, while submitting the report, gave the summary of its findings.
Number of staff on the list submitted to the committee as at January 2013 is 21,980. Of that, teaching staff are 17,626 and non-teaching staff 4,354. I would mention here that the initial list submitted to us kept increasing, both for the education authorities and also for the local government councils.
In his reaction to the completion of the exercise, Governor Simon Lalong says on assumption of office, he gave a marching order to the committee to submit their findings within a given time frame, which they have done.
I'm particularly delighted to receive on this occasion two very important presentations that are key to our government's interests in ensuring that the best of governance provides great opportunity and benefit for all our citizens. The biometric and staff verification exercise for the 17 local government education authorities and local government pensioners has been ongoing since January 2013. And as a result of the complexities and intrigues surrounding the exercise, completing it has been almost impossible until this administration insisted on its completion with a marching order that placed a definite time limit to it.
At their part, the organized labor union in the state expressed gratitude that the report is ready because they believe that the delay has been used by the government in the past to shortchange their members. Samson Fuyai, who spoke on behalf of Labour, says with the facts now laid bare, they are confident that it will no longer be business as usual.
So happy that this report has come out finally. There were a lot of issues that were held back, like the implementation of the minimum wage, the non-promotion of our members, non-transfers and postings, no annual increment. Now that this report has come out, we will check it up from there, and we are grateful to God.
It's however hoped that this report would help in bridging the divide between the state government and workers at the local government level. And still in Plateau State, some communities in the state capital, Jos, have taken their grievances against the state government to the public domain with a protest against alleged neglect by the state. A Plateau State correspondent has details. These people from Katong Yesi and Gashi in Sabongari, Tudunwada area of Jos Northwest say they are crying out due to a myriad of reasons, which they listed as including lack of access to roads and a bridge to serve as a link to other parts of the state. With solidarity songs serving to signpost the disappointment with the situation, they called on people like the speaker, Peter Aze, not to abandon them. Youth leader Isfanus Nakure has this to say on the challenge the community is facing.
And after trying to put this bridge in order, we only laid some culverts and which we fill it with sand. But still from that time we have been having many difficulties in terms of crossing. Number one, there is a big hill when going into the settlement. There is another one when going towards the main road. So sometimes if a car is not much strong enough, by climbing the small hill that is around in the front, it will reverse back. At the end of the day, if there is no any control, the car will end up sinking inside this bridge there. The community will now come into the earth. Sometimes, if there is a heavy rainfall of which can take at least an hour or 1 hour 30 minutes, there is no access water again. People have to wait for like 2 hours. So in the course of that one, sometimes there is emergency, which some people are trying to pass through. This water, this river now flowed with 2 people. At the end of the day, we lost a life. Apart from that one, there are some tendencies that when we have emergency, because of the flood in the river, people cannot ever cross again. We have to lose somebody, we could just die here immediately because at the same time, we don't have any hospital here. So that thing has contributed because we want to shift that person to a nearest hospital here. The river is full up with water. We cannot cross. The person will be unconscious here until he lost his life. So the thing has become too terrible to us that we don't even know what to do.
The major source of worry for these protesters, however, is the fact that it's right in the middle of Jos itself and the constituency of the Speaker, State House of Assembly, Peter Aze.
Peter Aze has tried a lot to helping us in this community, and he has just been sworn in as a speaker very newly. We are hoping that Peter Aze will come to our aid and make sure he helps us very well.
Thank you. The permanent secretary of the State Ministry of Works and Transportation acknowledges the situation, but added that the access road was never expected to be as busy as it has become. He, however, says the state will soon address the issue once funds become available. But for the village head, help cannot come soon enough.
Don shi ma ya zo ya sa mamu hannu inda yarda in gwamnati yana cin gaban kaman yadda mun gani ya fara a wurare muna so mu ma mu same shi mu ba shi girman shi ya zo ya yi mamu ziyara wata rana.
Thank you, sir.
The community has tried to see if government can come to its aid, but it has not been fruitful. In fact, what we are most concerned about is the healing nature of the road. You descend the slope into the stream, and then suddenly you have to go up very high to cross the stream and go into the village, into the settlement. Our greatest concern and care is that if the government can come to our aid and raise this structure, the bridge for us. And
it is known fact, however, that until Suko comes, the community will continue to go through difficulties, both in terms of development and economic activities. Niger State government says it would use the services of the anti-graft agencies to recover public funds misappropriated in the state. Ibrahim Doba, Chief Press Secretary to Governor Abubakar Bello, stated this while reacting to the poor financial status of the state. He says setting up a commission of inquiry will amount to time wasting and unnecessary waste of public resources, which in the long run may not even achieve the desired result. Doba spoke in reaction to the position of the State House of Assembly, which asked the executive arm of government to institute a commission of inquiry to probe the last administration of Babangida Aliyu The governor was quoted recently as saying that after payment of salaries, the administration is left with between 100 million and 200 million naira, an amount not enough to provide dividends of democracy to the people. On business tonight, a non-political organization, Change Nigeria Vanguard, the CNV, has condemned the recent attack on the new management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, over its recent appointments by the group managing director, Emmanuel Ibe Kachiko. On a statement signed by the chairman of Change Nigeria Vanguard, Judo Konko, the group particularly condemned the attack on the appointment of Dr. Babatunde Victor Adeniro as Group Executive Director, Commercial and Investment of NNPC by a faceless organization like the Civil Society Network Against Corruption, the CSNAC. Okonkwo described the criticism of Adeniro's appointment and any other in the NNPC by CSNAC as the antics of mischief makers and therefore called an effort to put them in check, or better still confine their activities to the West Bin, where they rightly belong. Outside Nigeria, UN Human Rights Chief Zaid Ra'ad Al Hussein says airstrikes in a hospital in the Afghan city of Kunduz that killed 19 people were tragic, inexcusable, and possibly even criminal. The High Commissioner called for a full and transparent investigation into the attack. Medical charity Medicine Sans Frontiers said at least 12 of its staff and 7 patients were killed. U.S. forces were carrying out airstrikes at the time. At least 37 people were seriously injured, 19 of them MSF staff. NATO has admitted its forces may have hit the hospital, while MSF added that all parties to the conflict, including Kabul and Washington, had been told the precise GPS coordinates of the hospital on many occasions, including on 29 September. Meanwhile, the medical charity MSF has condemned in the strongest possible terms deadly airstrikes on its hospital. The medical charity says the strikes continued for more than 30 minutes after U.S. and Afghan authorities had been told of its location. U.S. forces were carrying out airstrike at the time, and the NATO alliance also admitted the clinic may have been hit. Medicine Sans Frontiers added that after staff at the hospital became aware of the air bombardment in the early hours of Saturday morning, U.S. and Afghan military officials were again informed. And now to top stories making headline in the sporting arena.
Power style, that's what he delivered. Taking them out in the lead.
It was a marvelous comeback for Manchester City, and Sergio Aguero's day as he scored 5 goals as his team came from behind to thrash Newcastle 6-1 at the Etihad Stadium. City ended the day back on top of the Premier League after a resounding victory in which Aguero scored 5 in 20 minutes during a remarkable spell that also saw Kevin De Bruyne net for the hosts. Newcastle, who drew 2-2 with Chelsea last weekend after having had a 2-goal lead, went ahead in the 18th minute when Aleksandar Mitrovic stooped to head home Giordano, which landed him cross for his first goal since a summer move from Anderlecht. Aston Villa's poor start to the season continued as they were beaten 1-0 at home by Stoke City. Stoke scored the only goal of the game on 55 minutes when Glenn Johnson picked out Marko Anatovic, who fired a low shot past Brad Guzan. Bournemouth were denied victory by late penalty save as they drew 1-1 at home to Watford. Glenn Murray saved the Cherries the lead on its full debut for the club, heading past Harold Holmes on 28 minutes. But Watford were gifted an equalizer just before halftime when keeper Artur Buruc gave the ball away to Odion Ighalo for a simple finish. Murray had the chance to win it from the penalty spot later on, but Gomez made the save to give the Hornets a share of the spoil. Well, Chelsea's problems worsened as Southampton batted back to beat the Premier League champions 3-1 at the Stamford Bridge. Willian bent a free kick into top corner from wide and left, but that was as good as things got for Jose Mourinho's struggling side. Southampton equalized shortly before the break when Graziano Pelle chested the ball into the path of Stephen Davis, who smashed a low drive past Asmir Begovic from the edge of the box. Begovic made a fine save from Sadio Mane early in the second half, but the Southampton attacker got the better of him on the hour when Gary Cahill gave possession away and John Terry failed to cut out Pelle's pass. All right, that wraps it on the news tonight. Before we go, a recap of our top stories. President Muhammadu Buhari promises a fight to win war against Boko Haram. National Emergency Management Agency NEMA says death toll of the Yaya Kute bomb blast rises to 18. Tension has risen between the state government in Ekiti State and teachers over bailout funds. And that's it on the news tonight. On behalf of everyone here, I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Do have a pleasant night rest. Good night.